Hello and welcome to Typebook. We are Chris and Rose, INTJ and INFJ, and we are cataloging a variety of people based on their Jungian psychological types and their MBTI four-letter abbreviations. Today we are taking a look at Vincent Gallo at the request of a viewer. Thank you very much for that. Also, if you haven't already, please like our videos and subscribe to our channel. We would appreciate it very much.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'm not an actor turned filmmaker. I'm not Tim Robbins or Sean Penn. I haven't used the mainstream success that I've had as a movie star, which is none, to finance a film based on my own name as an actor turned director. I was very successful in the 80s as an artist. So to be classified because you didn't do your research and really read about where I was coming from as an actor, Hollywood actor turned filmmaker, is an irresponsible comment. And I sense a little bit of your own personal hang-ups as a woman that made you incapable of transcending them and enjoying the love story, which is quite evolved.
I love, like, the delivery.
Yeah.
The way he's just, like, so obviously not worried about being critical, do you know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of me a little bit. It's definitely an FI method of doing things.
I mean, you say it's like you, but it isn't. It isn't, because I noticed that it was FI first, then TE, as opposed to TEFI. The reason I say this is because he has no problem with being provocative in responding to this woman. Like, he basically is just openly criticizing her and saying, you know, you've done this as a woman. He's very comfortable speaking like that. Whereas I think like an TEFI person wouldn't speak like this. In other words, I guess he's really speaking.
What, like maliciously? Is that what you're saying?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, that's probably what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't tend to.
Yeah, but no. Well, even if you did, it wouldn't sound like this. There's this inherent, like, I mean, I know the word I want to use, but I don't want to say it publicly.
Bitchiness.
Yeah.
I said it.
Yeah, and I don't mean that insultingly. It's just how it feels to me. It's being provocative for the sake of being provocative.
Yeah, yep. That's kind of like a key.
FISE. Yeah.
A key, yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
Often quite modern. I don't know what to say because your comments were so convoluted I wasn't quite sure what you meant. I guess you just didn't like the film because maybe you're a little bored with cinema or something like that. I don't know. But the biggest problem I have with critics right now is that there are...
That's what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, it showed a bit better in that bit, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's blunt. It's the TE bluntness, but then there's this emotional edge to it, right? That I don't think is as apparent in the heavy TE, lower FI people.
It's like he's showing a frustration and it's coming out in that sort of condescendingness. I don't know what you were saying because I don't know, maybe you've just given up on something, but funny.
So convoluted.
Yeah, so convoluted. You're just an idiot. This dude's like, what?
The other thing I noticed and I wanted to say earlier is he is so much like Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, when I saw this man within the first minute, that's exactly who came to mind. They are very much alike.
I can't get over like the intensity of them. Like, you just Google these people, like Joaquin Phoenix and this guy, and they just have such an intensity in their face. You know?
Right.
It's like they're staring into your soul or something, and you just know they're like easily emotionally changed. 3, 2, 1, go.
There are a few filmmakers that I'm attributed to over and over, like David Lynch or John Cassavetes. Two of two filmmakers I don't really like very much, and I certainly wasn't influenced by. But because journalists like to package things and categorize things, they need to use these names. But it's very lazy. I mean, you know, cinema existed a long time before David Lynch, and there were many films that had unusual families and unusual characters. And in what's called independent cinema, which I don't believe in because there's good movies and bad movies, people find it easy to categorize other artists with figureheads of supposed genres. If a critic has an extremely clever point of view as to why my art or my films or my performance are insignificant or don't have quite the great impact that I had hoped them to have, I can learn from that. I can be objective.
Okay,
I can be objective.
I mean, he's given it to them, but at the same time, like, he's interesting. You know, he's got some good points, really.
Oh, I was just going to say that.
And
yeah, he has a lot of good points.
They're quite captivated, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's really thinking outside of the box, and I think they sort of know it. You know, they're all quite listening quite attentively, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think that they are, because even though in a way he has that like emotional edge, like I said to him, he does back it up. You know, he's not just saying, well, you know, you did this, you did that. He actually, he's backing it up with thought.
Yeah. Which is great as far as ISFP goes, because they don't always do that.
Right.
You know, they do get in that unhealthy habit of my feelings are king, and I don't have to justify them. They are just because.
Right. So when you have an ISFP like this who's being criticized, but he has a defense for it, and he's very well spoken, you know, it's refreshing to see.
Yeah, he's obviously a smart guy. A little bit neurotic, maybe, but he's definitely smart. 3, 2, 1. Subscribe and like and go.
When Thelma Adams from the New York Post calls me a Calvin Klein underwear model because I did a CKB perfume commercial, Calvin Klein CKB's underwear model's directorial debut, then I think it's the low road, and that's why I called her up personally on the phone.
Are they personalising it then, do you feel?
It's sophomoric. You know, what's happened with the mainstream over the years is the numbers and the economics have become so sophisticated. Leaders are people who take you where you don't want to go, and a lot of filmmakers, a lot of film producers are more interested in what they think people already want or what they think is already going to be popular.
That's
and
right.
You know, at least what I tried to do was to be ambitious in that way, to make exactly the film that I want. So I don't understand that criticism of self-indulgent. If something's self-indulgent and it...
Yeah, I mean, this man is definitely an artist. I think this is kind of a common thing for them, really. They are outside the box in terms of their artisticness, I think. I guess it doesn't just feel right to be doing what everyone else is doing, you know, in terms of that FI dominance, right? They want to shake the boat and do something new and interesting and controversial, and you know, this man is very controversial as far as we can tell, right?
Yeah.
So
and I think he's won their respect because of his well thought out responses.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he does remind me of Joaquin Phoenix a lot, because he's the same way. You know, that sort of intensity he puts into his roles. You know, it's like the Joker. I mean, you know, that performance is pretty scarily good. You would believe that his character was real, like a real person. Yeah, they're so similar, really. That sort of high neuroticism kind of ISFP. That's very articulate as well. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's good, then it's good. If it's self-indulgent and it's bad, then it's bad.
It's worse.
It's worse. It's very much worse.
Do you feel that generally then, that critics just get it wrong? They're not in tune enough with the film?
No. I'm a person who looks to critics in a way, for a clearer understanding of what's going on in contemporary culture. I look at Leonard Maltin's book to read about what he has to say. I enjoy critics, and I am comfortable being criticized. I'm only not comfortable when I feel the critics have personalized the reaction to a piece of art based on any sort of itchy hang-ups or special interest groups. I can feel when there's left-wing politics involved that I may offended. I can feel when there's left-wing politics that respond to a film.
We talk about this a lot. FI drama, I call it. And again, FI has drama, FE has drama. There's always drama and feeling. But it's just the way he cracks me up with his hand. Just see, it's almost like a spider. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like this very dramatic element he's kind of weaving into his defense. That's kind of where I see the drama. I always find the drama in the ISFP. It comes out in some way, in a very specific way, whether in their over-the-top use of words. Oh, I went to this shop the other day and it was loaded with people and they were crawling everywhere. It's just that over-the-top way of speaking.
All the emphasis that they do.
Yeah, and then in the way, right. And what he's doing right now is with his hands. It's like his hands are like moving forward through the air. It makes it more
sinister. It's funny.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
If you go to Sundance and you make a film and it has a homosexual character in it, you're immediately embraced as being innovative or progressive in some sort of way. The most mainstream movie that I saw at Sundance was The Opposite of Sex, which is, it's a TV movie at best. And it's shown in a film festival because it has homosexuality as a theme, and those things, in a bigger way, I'm offended by critics, never in a personal way.
So you're not shy of criticizing things yourself, then?
I'm not shy with being unguarded and outspoken. The 3 people here today are paid, and he made a fantastic point. That is their job function. It is their job function to, no one could question what the job description is. The job description is they're paid to go see a movie and talk about it from their point of view, and they have the complete responsibility to only do that. They should only talk about it for their point of view. I just hope sometimes that things are not as lazy.
The fact that you acted in the film, you directed the film, and we've seen you acting in other films, I wouldn't bear down too harshly on us for neglecting all your other talents, including the advertising of underwear.
Yes.
Zip your top up, otherwise we'll think you're advertising
I have the
Calvin
mic
Klein.
here. No, I'm comfortable with being identified as an actor, and no one should have to investigate my career. But I had a much more significant career as a painter. I'm much more of a visual artist than a performer.
Unfortunately, we're film critics and not art critics.
Yeah, but that's not true. All art can be conceptual, can be a form of a language. It doesn't matter what formations it takes.
I agree with that, but it's our field of speciality is film.
It's film.
It's not art.
But it's art.
Yeah, he's definitely a man who has spent some time
thinking
about what he believes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he makes so many good points, though. He's prepared, and I think that's why they're so interested. You can tell they're kind of captivated, like, okay, this is different. But he's right, this is like a true artist, in my opinion, because they want to go and do something that's not been done. And I think these days movies and even music as well, it's cut and paste, cookie cutter sort of stuff, this will sell. It's more branding, to be honest. I think music's more marketing these days, really, than actual music, A lot of musicians say the same sort of stuff about, they rush out songs and, the quality's not there. And it is true, because if you listen to a modern song and then go back in time, you suddenly see the difference and you think, oh my goodness, this top 10 song person cannot sing.
Yeah, so I think he's just kind of speaking out against all that in this very provocative sort of way, because he wants people to see his viewpoint. He wants things to change. You can tell by the impassioned way he has of speaking.
Yep.
And I think that's when the ISFP is at their best.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they probably think he's a proper weird, but at the same time, he is right, and he's interesting, and he's captivated them. And
right, because it's like a blend of truth, provocativeness, all that kind of wrapped up in one. And you and I have said before, this is kind of why, like, we kind of say ISFPs are like firecrackers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if anything, like, is started off, you know, some movement, revolution, activism, it's probably an ISFP that's done it. Realistically, because, like I said, they want to go where they want to find the new thing, the new territory, and start it. You know, they might not be there forever. You know, they might start it and then quickly leave because it's not, like, you know, good enough for them. But that's where they are. That's where you find them, I think.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell.
Remember, each video is not a comprehensive analysis. If you want to know more about a specific psychological type, check out the playlists where we have unique takes for each person.
Here are some suggested playlists for you to watch or other relevant videos.